and this time around I'm going to be doing one of the Yesterday's Wars episodes, which will be the Terminal Expense. And I think I said that fucking wrong. But either way, yeah, I'm going to be doing that one basically. And then afterwards, I'll do one of the Future Proofs mission, which would be the Temporal Front. No, it's not Temporal Front. I've already done Temporal Front. What I'm on about is Temporal Reckoning. That's it. And then after that, it should be just Ragnarok and one of the Yesterday's episodes, Survivor. So, yeah. So, I ain't got much to go now. Anyway, let's get this show on the road. And yeah, this time around I thought I'd do it in the Herc ship because I wanted to see how well this one fares, because even though that the Romulan Kelvin timeline ship is pretty good, but I wanted to make sure that this was holding up to standards and such. Because, yeah, even though I haven't got all the fleet consoles and the best consoles, also for the tactical area, but I want to see if any improvements that I made to this vessel will aid it. And as you notice, I have got a new experimental weapon. I haven't upgraded it yet because I haven't got the lithium yet, or the actual parts to upgrade it, but won't take me long to upgrade that. But at the moment I'm still deciding whether I want to upgrade the invasive coil gun first, or whether I should actually upgrade the rapid pulse mining laser. I'm actually more leaning towards the mining laser, because that seems to be a lot more efficient. But however, I haven't actually tried out this one yet, so I am going to give this invasive coil gun a bit of a tryout. So this is why I've actually got the Herc Strike Wing Escort to play this mission, so I can actually test out the experimental weapon. But anyway, let's get on with this. Now hopefully my voice is coming a little bit more clearer, because I realised that I didn't actually sound it too loud on the last video, so I'm hoping that I sound a bit more louder this time around. Plus, the good thing about the ship is so small that it doesn't get in the way of the sceneries and such. Or it doesn't get in the way of the cutscenes, should I say.
In 2387, an incident created a quantum rift between our universe and this one. A Romulan ship accidentally traveled here through a singularity. They found themselves in 2233 and later destroyed the USS Kelvin in battle. This caused their timeline to differ from ours. As a result, we now refer to it as the Kelvin timeline. We believe the sphere builders communicate with their operatives through the rift. Yes, in our timeline, they used the Xindi as a proxy force. I suspect they're doing the same thing here with the Klingons.
Oh, when they say about the Kelvin timeline, they're referring to the JJ Star Treks, basically. And basically this is probably just only the one episode that they actually based it around that, so you don't get too much. I think at the time they were just showing off the Kelvin starships, basically.
I'm reading multiple spheres under construction in this sector, as well as the wreckage of spheres. I suspect the local forces are trying to prevent an expanse from being formed.
But it is a shame they didn't actually expand on the Kelvin universe, because I would love to see a little bit more, but hey ho. And I suppose there's all the copyright stuff as well at the same time, because you've got a mixture of CBS, then you've got a mixture of the other companies and so forth and so on. Both sort of like, well, basically just going through all the red tape, basically. You get the picture. And just as a precautionary measure, I better launch.
This sphere isn't active yet. We need
fighters.
to neutralize it before the builders can create an expanse.
Starfleet Command, this is the USS Yorktown. We are under attack and require...
I do hope you've come to fight the talk. If not, you may whimper and wait for my blade at your throat.
Ooh, scary. Oh, fuck's sake, stop slowing down. Ooh. Well, mind you, these are bird of prey anyway, so they're pretty much easy to kill off, unlike their bigger ships. Plus, it helps when I've got the perk swarmers helping me out, which are basically like the fighters, really. I do have the D4X bird of prey, and I am not going to lie, they are absolutely amazing to have. Yes, light on defense, but very quick and very effective, especially if you want to do high DPSs and such, and you just want a quick, fast ship.
Unidentified vessel. This is the USS Yorktown. We are under attack by Klingon boarding parties. Can you provide assistance?
Yeah, sure, why not? At least he gets more than one line in this one instead of saying major hull damage. Now, to those of you that are new to this whole thing, this is basically the Kelvin. This is basically the Kelvin Federation starship bridge. Now, obviously, you only get this when you obtain the Federation Kelvin ship, not the Vengeance class, because the Vengeance class has got a different bridge, which is a little bit darker and such. But I do like the fact that they at some points catch the lens flares and such.
I am Science Officer 0718. Thank you for your very timely assistance. Could you see to Admiral Garrett's medical needs?
Oh yeah, better turn that down.
I am currently interfacing with your crew and the Yorktown's engineering systems to prevent a critical breach of the warp core.
But yeah, I love the fact that with the Kelvin bridges they actually included the, as people like to call it, the lens flare effect.
You're a long way from your side of the Romulan neutral zone, friend. But it's clear you're on our side today. Mind giving us a hand with repairs? More Klingons might be heading here to finish what the others started. And I'd like a fighting chance if that happens.
I like the fact that the dialogue also changes with depending what faction you're on. Like, for example, if you're on the Federation side, the dialogue would be something different than this. But if you're on the Romulan side, you obviously mentioned about being from the Romulan neutral zone. So I do like the fact that they do change it and they add those little things to it.
Thank you. I thought we were finished. The Klingons weren't interested in taking prisoners.
I have to say that they did pretty well with the Kelvin ships by giving them each a unique bridge, and I say that's really truly shows how much time and care that they put into the Kelvin ships. I do wish that they had done the same with the other ships. You know, try to create unique bridges for them and such. Not calling them lazy or anything like that. It just shows a little bit more. That just shows a little bit more put into it.
Thank you. Oh, my head's still spinning. That That last Klingon photon hit sent me flying into the ops console. Head first.
I mean, for example, some of the ships are just only equipped with only just the Starship style bridge, which is okay at first, but when it's sort of like constantly on every ship like the Riser Corvette and such, it'd be nice to have something new. I mean, even if it's something quirky or something like that, you know. And yes, I'm a sucker for quirkiness. I mean, I remember one time somebody said, "Oh, would you?" When I mentioned about the Riser Corvette having its own riser bridge, somebody said, "Oh, would you prefer it to have like palm trees and coconuts and such?" And I was like, "Yeah, that'd be a holiday in space, mate."
Thanks. I hope you're here to deal with these spheres.
I know that it will take away the seriousness from the game, but still, at the same time, it'd
Use some
be
help putting out these fires.
one of those funny, quirky things, really. Which I'm sure that people who developed this game are pretty much know a lot about.
Come over here after you put out the last fire. Over here. All right. We were about to begin sabotage operations on the sphere when the Klingons came to call. As you can see, Yorktown and her crew are in rough shape, but that thing needs to be neutralized. Can I count on you and your crew to help us finish the job? Glad to hear it. We've got explosives ready to go, but we'll need to find a proper infiltration point on the sphere. Work with my science officer to make that happen.
Use the starboard console. Together we can triangulate our scanners.
But again, another thing I also wish that they do is when they make their bridges of the ships, like each unique. I mean, let me rephrase it. When they make the bridges of these starships and such, not only do I wish that they would make these bridges like have their own little bridges and such like that, like that's either unique and such like that. Not like as in per starship, but as in like. For example, or like they did with the Kelvin ships, like they had for the Kelvin Federation class starships, they had this bridge. They had for the Romulan ones the Romulan style, and then they had the D4X bridge for the Klingons, D4X bird of prey and such. I wish that they done something with a little bit of uniqueness of that to every bridge sort of thing. But also, what I really do wish is that they would actually expand the actual ship from, well, expand the actually whole bridge thing, instead of just being on a bridge, that you can actually see other parts of the ship that has this sort of style. That would actually be a nice touch to it. I know that's probably just me wishing too much, wanting too much, but you know, be a nice little thing. Plus, especially with the amount of money that people spend to get these ships and such, it'd be a nice little reward for them to say, "Ooh, this is really good," you know, even if it's just only just a little tiny thing.
Admiral Garrett, I believe we found a suitable location. I have reviewed your proposed infiltration coordinates. They are tactically sound. We can commence operations at your command. Be advised, in previous encounters on board spheres, the occupants have been quick to mobilize their defense forces. Expect heavy opposition.
I'll stay on the Yorktown to assist Admiral Garrett and his crew. We'll monitor your progress from the bridge and provide tactical updates as we can.
Now the good thing about this, I can also do one of my endeavours while I'm here as well, which you already seen about with the phaser damage.
Commander! Kill those intruders!
Yeah, good luck in killing me, cause you know, I just want to come back and just, you know, get pissed off and kill you all eventually.
To date, the most effective Starfleet tactic has been to trigger a critical series of detonations within their power suite. Such disruptions have resulted in destruction of a sphere.
Now I will say one thing about the Spear Builder's bridge sort of thing. Yes, it's okay and all and such, and I think it's quite nice, but at the same time, I don't know, I feel it's lacking something in my opinion, but I don't know, maybe it's just me. But then again, I suppose that's how their bridges were, so I can't really go and argue and expect too much, you know, because otherwise that'd be just like...
Despite attempts to compensate for trans-dimensional drift, the protocol initiation led to universal instability and, ultimately, entropic acceleration. Galactic habitable spaces, 0. Life signs, minimal. Project terminated.
Receiving data. I had no idea the sphere builders were involved in so many alternate realities.
But, yeah, maybe it's just me being complaintive. I don't know. But anyway, let's get the show on the road. Oops. I do like these little bridges though. I'm not gonna lie, I do like the Klingon's outfit from the Kelvin universe. I just think there's something about their, you know, rough leather-like outfits or whatever they're made of. Just gives them a nice rough rogue look.
You cannot stop our plans.
Yes I can. Now, where's the thing? Ah, there we are.
I was part of the team that devised the sphere neutralization tactics aboard USS Enterprise. After our initial success, I was deployed to the Yorktown to share my expertise on such matters.
Now the interesting fact about this character that you see here, the 0718, he was actually pretty much known in Star Trek Into Darkness, and he only had that one scene, and then he had that sort of like one line, and yet a lot of people actually just liked him due to the fact of his voice, because even though he had just the one line where he just said Major Hull Damage Captain, obviously not in that tone, he said it in more of like a cool robotic tone. A lot of people said, oh, I want his voice, I like his voice, and this character became quite popular due to that, and I thought, wow, you know, it's amazing how characters become quite popular just due to that one thing. I guess it's the same with that, what's the best example? That Leroy Jenkins in certain sort of thing, he became popular just due to the fact of him shouting Leroy Jenkins and just going right in there sort of thing. So, yeah, it is amazing how one-liners and one things tend to get even just the smallest of characters or people recognise.
Experiment 3331. The Expanse grew at an acceptable rate until it was discovered by the Iconian Dominion Alliance. After intense resistance, we were able to decimate their core systems with targeted micro-expenses. But their desperation assault in subspace led to a complete entropic breakdown and, ultimately, universal disruption. Galactic habitable spaces, 0. Life signs, indeterminate. Project terminated.
This data, they've exterminated entire galaxies with their experiments.
It's crazy what experiments that the Spielberg's got to, especially with alternate dimensions. It also makes you wonder what was going through their minds at the time as well, because when you're messing about with different alternate realities and such, it's kind of like crazy at the same time, because you're... Oh, no, I better stop because it's cussing.
Your alliance with the Klingons has been profitable, builders.
It has. Like Vizindi, they are eager for conquest.
However, the technology you have provided destroys as well as creates.
The Resistance has been disruptive to our progress. Your promises appear thin, Envoy.
I assure you, all is going according to plan. Nothing they will do will keep us from our goals.
As And yet, I see a familiar disruption has presented itself again.
A minor nuisance. I suggest letting your Klingons do what they do best.
I will deal with this disruption. It's time you learned that you cannot prevail, intruder. You will fall to ruin.
Got something to say?
You! I have had enough of you!
Well, we haven't actually met each other, so I can't see how you could dislike me, but okay.
The Tutarians were a peaceful race until your misbegotten alliance committed an act of genocide. We were all but annihilated. Only a scant few of us escaped to safety, lost and forgotten within a dimensional void. The Envoy has given us the means to manipulate events. We had begun to undo the damage you have done to us. Quantum realms such as this are ours to study without risk to our own. And should this realm unravel, there is an infinite number of realms remaining to us. Yes, just as you were willing to do so to achieve your goals, do not presume to judge me, murderer! The Expanse Protocol will wipe you from existence, and with your passing, bring justice to my people at long last.
Sounds like blind justice?
Something is happening. The sphere is emitting a high level of thermobaric radiation. We must complete our objective at once.
But yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, it makes you wonder what's going through their heads, but at the same time, no, wasn't I saying? Yeah, it makes you wonder what was going through their heads. While at the same time, you're thinking, well, they're basically doing mass genocide across time itself, really, or alternate realities. Well, whichever it be. But yeah, it's just crazy.
I have finished working on the sphere network. Prepare the final charge for detonation.
I will admit, I do like using the spear builder ships, although I don't have them all. I only got the destroyer class and the carrier class or dreadnought class. But either way, both of them are pretty good. And I've got to stop using the word pretty in the words good. I've got to try and change that as well. But anyway, yeah, I've actually enjoyed using them.
Final charge deployed. We can return and initiate the detonation chain on your command.
Experiment 4472. Projections indicate increased habitable living area and expanse growth rate. Early estimates suggest a 500% increase. Local resistance, primarily from this realm's version of the Federation, has been crude but effective. Deploying Klingon proxy forces at key sphere deployments should alleviate this concern.
The latest data is local. It corresponds to this universe's quantum signature.
I don't have the spear builder ships on this character though. I have them on my other character, Maris. So if you ever want to see a demonstration of those ships, I don't mind giving those. Although the weapons on them are not at best, but I'll work on them.
Sphere builder ships inbound.
That's the only spear builder ship I need to get, is the science version. And then I'll have my spear builder ship collection completed. But I never forgot when I was actually
Sphere is jamming our transmissions. I will recalibrate our systems so we can send detonation signals to the charges.
I never forgot when I was actually aiming to get one of those ships. I ended up getting two instead. and I gave one of them to one of the girls, and she was quite happy with it. I also, again, got to say, this Black Alert trait is definitely worth having. Definitely helps out when you need. And I've got to say, I'm impressed with this ship. It's actually doing quite well. Although, when it comes to missions and doing actual PvEs/PvPs, then that could be a different story.
The thermobaric gas is creating an unusual level of interference, attempting to boost our comm signal to compensate. Recalibration complete.
That's one of the Spielberg dreadnoughts. You know, it's classed as a battleship, but still, when you purchase one of these or get one of them, you can launch out to attack wings of fires. So they're basically like carriers in some way. And I will say their weapons, when equipped right and actually upgraded right, can be very punishable on other players. Because I remember when one of the girls used it, it totally
Established a link to the charges on the sphere, ready to activate on your command.
It totally ripped my ship apart, basically.
Detonations complete. The sphere is neutralized.
Bye bye, Spielbergers.
Nice work over there.
It was rough for a moment, but you both...
What the?
I'll see you back on the ship, sir.
Most curious. I believe that wound occurred due to a temporal shift. Something has happened elsewhere. A question for another time, perhaps.
In the end, you came through for us. On behalf of Starfleet and the Yorktown crew. Thanks.
Indeed. Safe travels to you and your crew.
Yeah, my character's like Link, completely muted. But that's the whole point. It's supposed to put you in the role of your character, basically. So you have to sort of like either speak for your character or imagine yourself talking for your character and such and such.
The Envoy's been busy since our last meeting. I think we can add the Sphere Builders to our list of known TLF associates and members after this encounter. The Builders are no strangers to temporal war. Their experience could tip the balance of power against us. Fortunately, their ability to operate in our dimension is extremely limited. For now.
No, that's a good reward. The Kelvin Timeline Bat'leth. Oh shit, I just realised something. Ooh, I haven't got much room in my bank. Yikes. Yeah. Oh well. I'll sort that out later. Anyways. What was I going to do? Oh yes. Right, now for the future-proof mission, which is Temporal Reckoning.
There's been a serious temporal incursion. Head to Deep Space Nine and use the wormhole to travel to the Gamma Quadrant as soon as possible. Once we're through the wormhole, we'll be traveling to what becomes the new Kittimer system in the 28th century. It's on the fringe of current Dominion territory, so we should be able to transit in time before they're aware of us.
Right, let's transport there, saves all the journey.
We've lost contact with Temporal Fleet Command. No response to hails. Nothing. If the Envoy's Temporal Liberation Front is behind this, we're in trouble. We need to get to New Kittimer and assess the situation. Be ready for anything. There's no telling what could be waiting for us there. Not yet. They haven't fully occupied the sector or the station by the look of things, but we need to move fast. They've shut down the temporal operations relay, so we're on our own. We won't be able to contact our ships in the time stream without it. Once we get the ops relay online again, we'll be able to call in reinforcements and secure the sector. Let's make a surgical strike before they can reinforce their positions.
Right, let's launch the fighters and just get my butt over there. Oops. Wow, I'm really impressed. Alright, yeah, I know that these ships are pretty much easy and such, but I'm impressed how quickly this ship is able to take him out. I might have to actually give it a shot in one of the PvE matches. I think when this is over, I'll test it out on one of them. Obviously I won't be recording it, obviously, because otherwise you'd just be seeing the same thing and you'd be like, oh, this again, and it'd be like, yep. And I'm not going to lie, when you do purchase a Naku ship, there can be noisy as anything, because the engine just constantly makes that whirring sound, giving you a vroom, 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 vroom noise. Yeah, the fighters actually do quite well as well, because they've got like rapid mining lasers on them, as you noticed. That's what those yellow things are. And those mining lasers do one hell of a kinetic damage as well. But I am still very impressed how the ship is performing. I mean, it's truly showing its colours at the moment. Well, in my opinion. I know some people say, oh, it can be done better and such, but again, Give it time. It will. Now, as you notice that these missions always start off with you going in space, then going on the ground, then back in space again, usually, most of the times. Not all the times, but most of the times. Well, I'm a sucker for traps.
I agree. They must know we're here. We fought our way in. Is this a trap? Possibly, but not one of my making. It's simple. The Envoy and his forces need to be stopped right here, right now. Trust me or not, but we need to complete our mission here. There should be a command-level access console in what used to be the main assembly hall. From there, we can get the ops relay back in business. Let's try this door. We're going to have to find another way. Wait, someone's coming from down the hall.
Easy prey. What's this? Oh, I forgot about that. If memory serves, if you collect so many, if you collect all the pads and such, you get an acolyte for that as well. One of them, which you will see me do, you have to get at the very end. I will demonstrate that in this vid. Will you guys stop exploding shit? Seriously. I suppose it's not a party without the odd poppers.
Enemy
Also,
reinforcements beaming in at the transporter pads.
Also, I will say that the acolytes are not all that important to get. In fact, they're just like trophies. Is the best way to describe them.
Let's try one of the consoles for the main doors over there.
So it's not necessary to get them.
Still no luck. Head for the other side door at the far end of the hallway.
Now, you may see what I mean about how handy this gun is because of its spread shot that it can do, and it can actually hit the distortions and such. So like I said in the previous videos, it saves you targeting each of the knuckles and their distortions, which can be a pain at the times, but once you overcome that pain, it's plain sailing. In fact, that's probably the only plus side that the Yaku has with them, is their distortion devices and their mines and so forth. And that's obviously the Naku's journal entry. Let me know if I'm going too fast for you guys. There you go. So the reason why I slow down is so that you guys can read. I know you could easily pause the video and read that, but I thought I'd just make it a little bit more easy for you. Now you will notice that there's one door that is locked, which is this one, but I'll show you once this is done why it's unlocked. Ooh, that's a nice scene. Anyways, oh, if memory serves, I have to do okay, let's go with that one. Yikes. Okay, that was the wrong number. Let's try another one. It's got to be that one. There we go.
Hold your fire. I'd like a word with our guest. You have come so far, done so very much. Time and again, you devastated worlds and civilizations, all in the name of your proper timeline. Today, at Procyon 5, your reign of terror will end. We will be free. You know Krog, of course, and Boretas. But there is one more player to meet before the end. Come in, my dear. Join us.
Don't mind if I do. You're probably wondering why I'm here. Funny story. When Archer, our Archer, found the Defiant back in the 22nd century, there was a message in her computer. For my eyes only. It took a while to get to me, but it was worth the wait. It was from our gracious host, telling me that the Defiant wasn't an accident, but his gift. The gift of Empire, and an invitation to more. Seems only fair to repay such generosity with a gift of my own. Enjoy. The Terran Empire stands with you, Envoy.
Ha! Welcome, Admiral. And thank you for the fine gift.
Noi! It's you.
I've been waiting for this for such a long time, old friend. Your alliance is lost, and your life is almost at an end. Our destiny awaits us at Procyon 5, my allies. Let us depart.
No. Today, Azure will be avenged by my hand.
You're not the only one seeking justice today, Vorgon.
As you wish. Make them suffer.
You know, I'm going to actually take the finger and shove it so far up your ass for just pointing. Then you would get the point not to point it at me. But yeah, this is why that other door wouldn't open, because it was too. Otherwise, it would have spoiled who the next enemy would be in the temple fight. Now, at the moment, I'm going up against Quag and the other fella, and they are, well, they can be quite a nuisance at times, because they can be hard to actually take down. I mean, especially if Quag keeps using those bloody mines. But, however, might be lucky to actually get her out of her own game. And I'm gonna need to... Shit. Get away. Hope this works. Fuck. Yeah, that works. Next. We want to go for Quag. I should have really actually gone for Bortus first rather than Quag. Then I should have done her last. But the reason why I went for her because she was the most pain in the backside one. There you go. That's those two dead. Now, I could take this, but I've got too many stuff in my inventory and I don't really need it really. I was going to say, will you stop throwing shit? I don't know what the fuck's the matter with people. Now, before I activate the Temporal Ops relay, I believe I may have access to the other room. Unless, of course, I have to access that first. I can't remember exactly fully. Let's see. Now, the door should be... Ah. In that case, I'm going to have to do it after when I do the Temporal Warps relay. And I apologise for my pronunciations, as I know that when I pronounce things it is absolutely terrible and awful, and I'm working on that. Ah, that's what I should have done. Right, now before I'll go and activate Temporal Ops relay, I'll go to the door. Wrong door. I'm an idiot. I'll go to this door. Should allow me in by now. Yep. And there's some Terran officers. Easy to kill straight away. And then all you gotta do is just pick up their pad and will you quit blowing up shit? And this is the Terran journal. And so you know what's beyond that door. And I think I might have got the Acolyte there, which I just saw. So I didn't actually see it because I was so busy looking elsewhere. But yeah, that's how you unlock that door anyway. And then you just do that. Then that. Then that. And yes. Should I launch the fires out so I can actually...
Well, well. You really did a number on poor Krog and Baradas. I have to say, I'm more than a little impressed. Between you and me, I think the Vorgons are upset with you. Enjoy!
Wow. You think?
Bringing friends, are you? Well, comms, hail the Nakul fleet. Their deadly nemesis is here.
Oh yeah, let's go further in.
Command, the USS Texas at your disposal.
Now it's good that you get more help in this level and such. But I remember when they first did this, there was a lot of bugs where that the help, when the help came in, it didn't actually help out at all. It used to just stay behind and such, and that's when it become a little bit tedious back then. But again, that was before I had the decent weapons and such. Okay, now for the next thing.
Oh, in a word, ouch. You wiped those poor fools out with almost Terran efficiency. Aren't you supposed to be from the good universe? Oh well. Perhaps the Krenim will get the job done.
Good luck to them, because they're just going to get blown to smithereens as well.
Saw the temporal beacon. Came as soon as we could.
Forgot about my fire's been taken out. I need to get some elite ones, that would actually help. Also, I think I also need to get a 5th trait slot from the I think I'm able to get the 5th trait slot from the girls fleet, or when my fleet upgrades, because then I can actually add the other trait that I... Yikes. Then I can actually add a 5th trait, one of my traits that I've got, which is sums up a bunch of swarmers to actually help fight in battle. And yes, I nearly got pasted there. Yeah, temple ships can be quite a pain in the backside at times. It's not just due to the fact that they've got anti-proton weapons and such, that it's due to the fact that most of them have stuff that can actually mess about with your ship's systems and such. I'm an idiot. I thought that was it. I'm supposed to pursue the Enterprise, basically.
All ships hold. There are too many of them.
What do you mean? I can easily take these bastards on.
What's wrong? I thought you wanted to catch me.
Enough, Lita. Our battle is at Procyon 5, not here. All ships, set course. Now.
Ta-ta! Until next time.
Sorry we didn't get here sooner. How bad was it? I'm sorry. He was a good man. The war was taking a heavy toll on him, particularly the Battle of Procyon 5. The enemy keeps attacking us there, and they're getting stronger each time. Each Alliance victory has come with a higher price, for Daniels especially. Yes, he was a crucial figure in the battle, at the heart of it every time, barely surviving in some cases. And now, he's gone. We might not be able to win it without him.
And that is that mission done. Now I'll just get my prize from here. Now, you've got a couple of choices here on these, but I went for this one because this one has a resistance, well, it gives you plus 40 physical damage resistant rating, plus 26.7 kinetic damage resistant rating, plus 20 Starship exotic particle generator, which improves exotic damage. Then you've got plus Starship control, which improves control effects and such. Now, the reason why I choose that one, because that one's good for both the shields and the resistance area and such. And if you want to go full exotic, that also adds to it. I know there are better items than that, but that's one of the good items that you can get for free.